In today's lesson, I'll break down how to play some major pentatonic soloing, minor pentatonic soloing, and triad-based soloing. Three flavors of guitar soloing coming right up. I'll break down this lesson in separate chapters for the E major pentatonic, E minor pentatonic, and the E major triads. And stick around to the end because I'll show you how to blend all these concepts together to get that secret sauce. That's the heart of blues rock guitar soloing. So let's first look at the E major pentatonic for some soloing ideas. Root note here with your pinky on the 12th fret. And you see how I have the E note colored in red because that is the home bass note, the note that I'm going to build these phrases on, especially here in the 9th fret. I'm just going to build phrases on that home bass note. Getting right to that home bass note. I'm looking at those home bass notes. Yeah, that is fun. Just simply starting with a phrase. Simple is good sometimes, and it gives you a foundation to build on. And another thing I'm doing is playing to the pulse of the track. I'm really feeling that. I have that pulse. I'm not always stroking it with my right hand, but it's in my soul. You have to kind of feel these licks. So again, in the 9th fret of the G string, I'm starting out 9, 11 on D, but getting to that 9th fret on the G string, that E note. Another lick. Slight bend on 11. Hitting 11. Now hammer on and pulling off from 9 to 11. Back to 9. When you get a little speed to it, it just fits tracks like this. All kinds of blues rock guitar tracks just fit this vibe right here. And then getting to the high E note, it looks harder than it is, or it sounds like it's complicated, but it really isn't. From high to low on the E major pentatonic scale, you really need to work on that down-up alternate picking. So the first phrase, down, up, down, up, down, up, right away. And then 4 notes from the scale. And then 6 notes from the scale. And then 4. So 12, 9, 12, 9, 12, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9. And then 11, 9, 11, 9, back to that home bass note. Slow. Fast. And another good way to to create a phrase is bending here in the 12th fret of the B string. Full bend on 12, and when you release, you're at a B note, which is obviously hugs that E chord. For right now, this track is just hugging the E chord, and then we'll break into some more of the chord changes as I start putting these elements together. Just, this is a great starting place. Get to those home bass notes. And there's a lot of variations you can do with just those simple notes. So now let's look at the E minor pentatonic for some soloing ideas. The root note's still in the 12th, but the scale pattern is right here, the first position. And again, I have the root notes, the home bass notes colored in red, because that is how I'm building some of these phrases. And again, playing to the track, playing to the pulse of the track. Really hugging that note there. The track right now is staying on E, so you can relax, getting to that home bass note, but you're creating small musical phrases. And you can repeat that. When I hear that, I think of Clapton, that hammer-on pull-off. And this time we're starting high on the scale. With the major pentatonic, we started in the center of the scale. But there's no rules. It's just really how you're feeling. Just express yourself. That's why you need this type of foundation. So full bend on 15 of the B string. You're bending to an E note, then hitting an E note. And you can go to 12 there. And then even throwing your pinky on there on 15 of the E string. I think of Paige when I hear that type of lick. Then you start walking down the scale, but add that Clapton style hammer-on pull-off. So 12 on the E, 15, 12, 15 on the B string. Then hammer on and pull off on the B string. Hitting 14 on the G, 12, slight bend back to that home bass note. So now let's look at some E major triads to create some great blues rock guitar solos. So here's the triads that I'm going to use, and they're all over the fretboard on different string sets, but I'm using these for examples. E, and again I have the root of the little triad chord colored in red, because that's the most important note. That's the home bass note of each triad. So let's create some movement with these triads. So basically, I'm just working my way up the fretboard with these triad shapes. Again, playing to that pulse, that simple beat of the tune, starting with this triad shape. Almost any major chord, you can use this little move here. So it's 9/11 on the A string, hitting the triad. You can ride that. And even though you want to play a solo, there's still, that can be part of your solo, is that little rhythm groove with just a few notes. And then when I slid up, I'm playing another, just 2 notes of the E triad. Just playing the 13th fret of the G string and the 12th fret of the B string. Just 2 notes of the triad. You don't always have to play all 3. Great practice is hitting this triad and sliding 2 frets down and into the triad. And then hitting that triad again, you just hitting the 13th fret of the G string and the 12th fret of the E string is just 2 notes, separate notes. And then I'm looking at this other triad shape, but I'm only playing 2 notes from that. 16 on the G and E strings, 15, 14. And then the main triad. So you're basically just doing a little chromatic walk down from one to the other. And then with this other triad here, you can play all around that little shape. So I'm just looking at the 16th fret of the E string here, and then 17th fret, sliding up to 19, home bass. And you can bend that also on 16 to the A note and go back to the original note. Still looking at this little shape here. And you can walk right back down using notes from the major and minor pentatonic. So right there, 16, 14, 13, 11, back to home bass of the E major pentatonic or that triad shape. All the stuff connects. Now the secret sauce, blending all of these concepts together, the E major pentatonic, E minor pentatonic, and the E major triads. This is the heart of blues rock guitar soloing. Again, it's the heart of blues rock soloing, is blending these major minor, gives you some tension. And when you do it, visualize it in the simple way I just showed you, using the center of the scale and focusing on the home bass notes. That is the ticket. And going through even the chord changes, you can use this concept. Toward the end of that little demo there, it went to the A chord. So I slid up to an A triad, and the 14th fret of the D, G, and B strings is that A triad, just like the E. And I just slid up. I'm looking at E minor pentatonic there, but I'm playing major notes with it. So I hit that triad on the 14th fret of the D and 14th fret of the B string, just 2 notes from the triad. And then 12, 14 on the B, 12 on the G, slight bend. And then getting back to home bass there in the 14th fret of the D string. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Hope to see you soon.